And here's the starting 11 for Rutgers University under Jim McElderry.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, an attack-minded, especially against this Michigan team that's had some difficulties defending throughout the course of the Big Ten regular season. It's going to be really interesting to see those wing backs, those outside backs for Rutgers, how high they push up against Michigan.
And we are underway from Piscataway. Rutgers University defending to our left. They're wearing the red uniforms with the black shorts and black socks. Michigan under 10-year coach Shaka Daly. They're deep in Rutgers territory here in the early portion of the game. Zielinski able to head it to the top of the area. Rutgers, though, still unable to clear. That's Legwenick, and he's getting pressured by Jersey native Nicholas Kalukian from Wayne, New Jersey, went to Wayne Hills High School. He is their guy that's leading the line as a freshman.
Yeah, an absolutely fantastic player, Glenn. 6'1", provides a good physical presence up top, runs the channels well, has a good understanding, can play some hold-up, can play one-touch ball there in the final third. Product of the Cedar Star Academy, one of the best academies in the tri-state area and in the country, consistently doing well in national tournaments. He is someone to watch, not just in this game, but in the future for Michigan.
And here's Ethan Wood, the Michigan keeper. Just his third match of the year, and the only keeper available tonight for Michigan. They've been struck with illness and injury and come with a somewhat decimated squad tonight in a match where they're looking to gain at least a draw. That point would be very critical to their hopes of qualifying for the Big Ten tournament. That's Gaffney on the ball. Off the switch, you'll see they play 3 at the back, or a 5-back system, depending on how you would like to delineate it. Blevins on the ball. He's been a good attacking player on the left side out of the back. One of those wing backs. That service from Captain Martin, Cameron Martin. Rutgers back on it with B1G. He wears the number 18 and plays it back to Divizio. Divizio nursing a bit of a stress fracture. It's been limiting in his practice, but this is his final year in the program, and he goes as long as he can, and we'll see how he plays tonight. This is Martins. That's the wing back on the right side, Buckner. Good ball in and pushed away by the Rutgers keeper, Dalton. And that springs a Rutgers counterattack led by B1G. Here's Temple. We sometimes see him on the left. Tonight starting on the right. Malin. And he leaves it for Teo. Chris Teo, the senior. Rutgers, they will play and have throughout 4 at the back. We saw them play 3 for a good portion of the year in 2021 when their 9 wins, the most recorded since the 2015 season.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing Michigan in this kind of adjustment that they're making to the 3 in the back, Glenn. And you know this. It seems in college soccer, that idea of 3 in the back, having those 3 center backs, going to stay home a little bit more, step up when need be, but really stay at home, kind of freeze the midfield and the attacking players. Those 3 or 4 attacking players up top really becoming very commonplace in college soccer. Don't know if it's a trend or if it's going to be here to stay.
Blevins turns inside. Combination with Kalukian. Michigan sharp early on. Buckner. This is Gaffney out of the back, graduate student. So he's a center back, and he got himself into the final third, but off the counter, and the keeper reading it very well. He's a junior from Syosset High School. We've got an injured player for Michigan left behind.
Yeah, Gaffney there got tangled up with, I think, Divizio. tried to get up, and looks like he's having some difficulty. Looks like he's in a lot of pain.
Can't call that a conference match yet. All right, so Gaffney has recovered, and ball played back in. Here's Zielinski for Rutgers. His center back mate, Hugo Legwenick. That pairing, very important in front of the goalkeeper, Dalton, who won the job 3 matches ago. He's won 1-1 since becoming the permanent number 1. He had been alternating with Ori Briscoe throughout the year.
I think we've seen the season progress, Glenn. We've really seen Legwenick settle in very nicely there alongside Zielinski. Zielinski, a former member of the New York Red Bulls Academy, really kind of came along as the season progressed last year, but especially with Vince Borden having graduated, and Vince seemingly has been here since the 90s. I mean, he's been a fixture of this starting 11, really been an influential part as a center back. Vince Borden currently playing in Albania, so it's good to see him continuing his professional career, but he was an important player, not just because of his size, his aerial ability, his defensive prowess, but being able to play those passes between the line. He was tremendous.
Acosta for Rutgers off the switch, finding Jackson Temple. He's isolated 1v1. Let's see if he tries to take on. He does. Whips that over the head of B1G. Tio showing up a little late. And a wonderful move to push it around B1G by Jason Buckner. Buckner accelerating into the Rutgers end. Now will pull up. Just about 7 minutes gone by. And I don't think it's exaggerating what a beautiful fall evening it is on a Friday night in Central Jersey. Just wonderful stuff. The leaves changing. Everybody's taking their pictures and posting them on Facebook. It's wonderful.
Do you have your pumpkin spice latte to complete the set here, Glenn?
Well, I'm not a pumpkin fan, so I do not. I just have a Diet Coke. I just have a Diet Coke.
Well, I knew I liked you because I don't understand the pumpkin spice latte craze.
My wife ordered a pumpkin butternut squash, some sort of dinner last night.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it really was intriguing. That's Ethan Wood. Because of injury, Wood is playing tonight for Michigan. Mentioned he's from Syosset, New York, so a little bit of a homecoming. I would imagine there's some family nearby.
Yeah, 3rd appearance of the season for Wood. He's done pretty well so far, allowing 2 goals in 2 games.
On September the 19th, he blanked Oakland, but his team was also shut out, so that was a 0-0 match. And then a week later at Michigan State, that was a 2-0 loss. Just his 5th game in his career here at Michigan. Ethan Wood. Right now, Thomas DeVizio, graduate student, Scotch Plains High School. They won a sectional championship with DeVizio on board. To him, that must seem like a lifetime ago. Tio, through ball, no runners. M.D. Myers, the center forward for Rutgers, knew that was going to be one he wasn't going to have any chance to catch up to, so he let it roll to Ethan Wood. Wood, part of the New York City FC Academy.
They got a pretty big game this weekend, don't they?
Yes. Boarding the charter tomorrow for Montreal, and then Sunday it's New York City at Montreal. MLS Eastern Conference semifinals. Wonderful stadium, Stade Saputo. That's Acosta spinning away from pressure to switch it for Rutgers. He's back on the ball now. Trying to find Tio through on the overlap, had a little bit too much on it. Goal kick for Michigan. I didn't see anything official, but I do believe if Michigan ties tonight, if they can manage a point, they will clinch the 8th and final spot ahead of Northwestern. Top 8 go. There's 9 teams in the league. Legwenick awkwardly heads it behind, and that gives Kalukian a chance. That's his ball from the byline, and that first time little dink got past the keeper, Dalton, but Rutgers escapes any of that pressure. And for a moment there, though, Christian, it looked a little dangerous.
Yeah, that Rutgers backline got a little bit unsettled there, a little bit pulled apart. And we see that Michigan, although it's been a difficult year for them, certainly they have some capability there in the final third, quickly catching Rutgers spread out, center back split.
And that was Broach who was able to just knock it over the shoulder, his shoulder, and the keeper's. Broach, he's got some Jersey ties. His mother's side of the family from New Jersey. Born and raised in Michigan. He and Kalukian are working together up top, and you can see one will be high while the other's underneath, and then they'll switch, so there's a mobile pairing up top as they try to work together to see if they can nick one against Rutgers. Rutgers in at 2-2-2 in the big. 6-3-5 overall. Loose possession. Michigan on it with Buckner. That's Jens Hoff now serving, looking to find Broach in behind and unable to catch up. Big weekend here, Rutgers University. It is homecoming. Football team tomorrow against Indiana. Here's Legwenick on it, senior. He has 2 goals plus an assist this year. But the assist and one of those goals, all of that Northwestern game, 4-2 win for Rutgers.
It's a little static right now, don't you think, Glenn, from Rutgers opening 13, 40 minutes. Not a lot of movement, not really connecting. Michigan, we know that they have the capability to press high up the field. We've seen it throughout this Big Ten season. They will press with those 2 forwards and try to get some pressure. Haven't necessarily come into this game pressing quite as high, probably in large part because of the fact that they just don't have the personnel and the depth on the bench to be able to keep those legs fresh and running. So Michigan sitting back just a little bit, and Rutgers, a team that wants to play interchange 1-2 touch passing quickly through the midfield, finding things a little bit bogged down. Michigan has those 3 kind of rotating midfielders in front of the back 3, really clamping things down, making it difficult for Rutgers to get out of their own end. Rutgers has possession, but is having a hard time building out.
Here's Acosta to Barugi. Barugi driving at the back line. Finds Temple. Temple on his left. Shot blocked. And there are those numbers Christian Dyer was referring to. Tough to get through, but DeVizio recovers. And there's a goal!
What a finish by M.D. Myers. The doctor is in the house.
M.D. Myers, his 13th of the season. He is the first player they mention. And when you have a legitimate striker that has the tools to play the number 9, the way it's demanded in the modern game, the ability to hold up, the ability to run the channels, the ability to strike right or left, and then the air game. And he has increased his lead now in the Big Ten. He leads in goals with 12 and in points now with 30. Here comes Michigan trying to see if they can answer quickly. That reverse ball, good anticipation to Vizio, but behind the play, a foul called. That'll be on Michigan, called against Rutgers.
I'm a little bit surprised that the referee called that at that moment, didn't let advantage go through. a little bit of a break here for Rutgers.
Well, DeVizio had intercepted initially, had denied that penetrating ball, then slipped, and I think the whistle was blown at that time. And so number 23 is Kalukian, the Jersey native. I'm sure he's got a bit of a following here in the stands at Yersack Field. Freshman from Wayne Hills and the Cedar Stars Academy. Both of his 2 goals this season have come in the last 2 games, in a victory over Bradley and a loss to Ohio State. Squeezes through the wall. The follow is blocked. That was Broach. Throw in Michigan.
That's exactly what the wall's supposed to do right there. They held tight. It wasn't an effort placed over. It was going to try to power through.
Michigan has a long thrower, and his name is Declan Gaffney. But here he is, and you can see where the players are set up. Unless it slips out of his hand, he's got a legit one. Here it comes. Must have slipped. Dalton handling that with aplomb. Zielinski on his right, Legwenick on his left. Zielinski plays to Legwenick. Entrance into B1G. That came in from Cole Carruthers, who's been nursing a bit of an injury, and he's another player like DeVizio. Jim McElderry, Rutgers coach, just seeing how long those two can go.
Starting to get a little chippy out there.
Well, it's a conference game in the Big Ten, and it's the penultimate conference game for both. One fighting for position, the other just fighting to get into the postseason. That would be Michigan. Michigan finished 4th last year, 3rd the year before, 3rd the year before that, tied for 3rd, and 1st in 2017. 17, 18, 19, 3 consecutive NCAA appearances for Michigan. And that 2018 team, oof. I remember a game here at Rutgers. I believe the final was 2-0, but the dominance and the level of player and play of that Michigan team was remarkable.
And Rutgers hasn't beaten Michigan since 2015. 5 losses during that time, 2 draws. So this has been a little bit one-sided in Big Ten play between these 2 programs.
One thing Shaka Daly said yesterday, the Michigan coach, as DeVizio tackles it away, and we're going to get another long throw attempt from Gaffney. But one thing he did say is Rutgers was a better team last year at Michigan. But as we know, Christian, in the sport of soccer, that does not always translate to 3 points. Gaffney will try it again. This one a little better. There's the flick, and there's the goal. Set piece throw in, and Michigan. The homecoming for Nicholas Kalukian is a happy one. He finishes it off on the second ball, which is often the way it works on long throws.
And the Colloquian fan base there, probably about 25, 30 of them with big heads and everything else celebrating this. It's M.D. Myers a few minutes ago with the header. Now Colloquian saying, I can do that as well. Nice, tidy finish off that long throw. What an asset that is for Michigan.
It's the guy that Rutgers feared the most on set pieces that got the first takeaway on that. 6'6" Brennan Callow. He was the one that flicked it on. He was the target on that. Here, we're going to get another look. He's tough to deal with, and Rutgers failed on this occasion, but perfectly executed. Callow to Kalukian. And yeah, Christian, we couldn't see it, but there were some Kalukian faces that were being held up. The old, what do you call those? Posters or with the stick
monster
with the
heads.
stick in the. Does it have a name? That's the kind of stuff I figure you would know. You're the man with all the information.
No one has my face on a stick.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty certain, Glenn.
Well, it's 1-1 here at Piscataway.
Big time answer back from Michigan. They started things off well. Those first 5 or 6 minutes, moving the ball well, pinging it around. Then Rutgers kind of grew into the match, but big time response on the road from the Wolverines.
Temple. He's against Hoff. And now the ball loose in the box. Eventually cleared by Michigan. Kept in by Zielinski and Acosta. Ball too far ahead of Tio. So Buckner is there to deflect it away. Last touch by Rutgers. Back to the goal one more time. What Rutgers has to know is that there's a good chance they won't win the first ball on that because you can't out-leap the 6'6" Callow. So you have to be acutely aware of the next ball. And it was Kalukian, unmarked at the back post.
And you know this, Glenn. If you get 2 free headers inside the 6, the second one you're usually pulling out of the back of the net. And that was the case for Rutgers here. So that's going to be something for the Scarlet Knights to tidy up. And I'm sure Jim McKeldry will be addressing that at halftime.
And off of long throws, and for the most part, it's almost always that second ball. Temple, square, Myers, cuts it to his left. Kick save by Wood. Ball still alive. This is Malin. Can he draw the corner? Still in play. Now it's Tio. Malin, Tio takes a tumble, no call. Carruthers backpedaling as he scanned to his right to find LeGuenic. Back to Carruthers.
Yeah, good here, though, from Rutgers. Myers getting that on his left foot. Myers has looked very dangerous, and I think the preponderance of the attacking in the first half, Glenn, for Rutgers has come primarily down that right side. Jackson Temple, as you noted in the pregame, usually on that left side, finding a lot of space, several good opportunities, and 1v1 opportunities to create for Rutgers.
Here's the goal scorer, Kalukian, spitting on Divizio. And the takedown by the Scotch Plains native. Graduate captain Thomas Divizio.
It's been a physical battle between those two all night long.
Shots, forgive me, Christian, shots level at 3. Shots on frame, 2-1 in favor of Rutgers, and the one shot on target, Kalukian to score for Michigan.
We've seen Kalukian on that left side, on that right side, popping on. They really have those freedom, those 2 forwards up top for Michigan to be able to interchange, drop back, switch side to side, find space.
This is Blevins beating Divizio off the dribble. The shot saved at the front post. Well done by Dalton. Here's Malin back from his wing position to defend and draw the foul against Buckner. Ula Malin out of the 4-3-3.
Here's Blevins here with that opportunity. Dalton doing well, pushing it towards the center of the field there. It's a good thing that Michigan didn't have any late runners into the box there.
Here's Divizio. Martins on the foul. That's the freshman, number 18 against number 18. 18 in the visiting white is Zach Martins. 18 for Rutgers. Jason Brugi, the junior. That's Malin on it. Michigan expected Rutgers to have a decent amount of control. Ball through. B1G playing it between defenders. Normally a good idea. Not enough space, though. Temple, no way he would have been able to catch up to it. And one of the dilemmas against a back five, or one of the difficulties, and one of the reasons Jackson Temple is on the right side, Jim McElderry is hoping that maybe he'll get around the edge a little bit more rather than that inside dribble, which is what he's accustomed to doing when he's on the left. So the adjustment made due to the back five utilized by Michigan.
I also think it's a good idea when you got Chris Teo, who's someone who likes to push up from that outside back position on the left side. Very often when Temple's on that side, the two of them would occupy the same space. Here, if you're able to get Teo a little bit more freedom, and Rutgers hasn't been able to get him forward too much so far in this game. He's had to do a lot of backtracking and defending, but certainly I think this could be intriguing for Rutgers for these last couple Big Ten games and then the tournament, in terms of being able to free up and give space without running into each other.
Free kick, that's Jason Buckner. Looked like he was walking to take it. Now giving it up. Rutgers set a couple of yards outside of the 18. That one played in front of the defense, but getting on the ball first once again, it's the 6'6" Brennan Callow. Couldn't get that one on frame. Got a lot of pace on that. That was a tough ball. He had to come back for it. Michigan pressing. Rutgers turns it over. And let's see if Gaffney tries to launch another throw. Indeed. Well, the last throw in, it was probably 10 to 15 yards further to his left. He launched it into the area, and that resulted in Michigan's goal. This one he'll throw short, but it's Callow who's in the mix, so he comes up for anything. If there's a dead ball, he's going to be in the area.
Yeah, and Rutgers has struggled this year on set pieces, defending set pieces. I think probably one of the areas where Rutgers gives up somewhat of an advantage is height, and that includes along their back line, and we've seen that so far this year, that they've had some struggles defensively on set pieces, and this is going to be a tough matchup all night long for Rutgers.
Buckner, Hoff supporting. Myers providing the pressure, and then Hoff takes him down. So MD Myers, the Big Ten leading scorer, got the opening goal here tonight for Rutgers. A wonderful headed goal off the service by Thomas DeVizio. That was in the 14th minute. But a little over 3 minutes later, Nicholas Kalukian from Brennan Callow. They're not going to give Declan Gaffney an assist on that? Has to be. The throw-in, Callow first-time header, and a first-time finish on the back post by Kalukian. Nonetheless, it's 1-1. That's Kalukian cutting against the grain, and you see he's drifting into the midfield. Sliding tackle by Teo. So Gaffney doesn't flash to the other side of the field to take the long throw. It'll be played by Buckner, and then a service in, and good defensive header, Joey Zielinski. And the Scarlet Knights are in a throw. You see the group of supporters on the far side of the pitch. That opposite side of the field opened for the first time to supporters, and it's the Cavalry, the men's and women's soccer supporters, here on a Friday night. Good combination play. Myers laying it back for B1G ahead to Temple. Temple's going to try to see if he can whiz past the defender. He cannot.
Good defending there.
That's Gaffney, the long thrower, who's showing some of his prowess on the defensive side there. Winning the ball and then getting a deep service in. Zielinski is going to be whistled for undercutting.
There's some choice words there between Jim McKeldry and Shaka.
Just to the point where the player is going to fly over you. That's a submarine, and it's almost always going to be called like that.
What I don't like about it is that Joey Zielinski gets the yellow card for something he wasn't aware of.
Yeah, maybe that's I wasn't aware of that. I missed that in my own analysis. But here's the distance set piece taken by Vasquez, the defensive midfielder for Michigan. Rutgers clears, but only as far as the left side, where a whipped-in ball from Blevins, who has 3 assists on the season. And there you get a glimpse why he's able to connect like that. And the keeper, Dalton, was able to push it away and out of danger.
Dalton doing a good job here in the ball, swerving away from his goal, coming out, pushing it away. 3 bodies there at the back post for Michigan. Dalton making an important challenge. If he doesn't, there might be another shot on frame.
Pablo Avila and Ian Abbey getting set to check in for Rutgers.
I'll tell you what, Glenn, Michigan so far through 30 minutes does not look like a team that's battling for a spot in the Big Ten tournament. They came out here hungry, prepared, and they're firing.
T.O. steps on the ball to Legwenick. DeVizio, who had the assist on the M.D. Myers goal, a little over 14 minutes in. That opened the scoring here in Piscataway. Glenn Crooks along with Christian Dyer. Happy to have you with us on BTN+. After tonight, each of these teams with just one more Big Ten match. Off the deflection, DeVizio, first time ball, and the big guy, the 6'6" Callow, was able to poke that away. And now it's T.O. and Buckner. T.O. plays it in too deep, and Wood will take it at his feet. M.D. Myers now coming towards him to force the pickup. First half reserve, giving chase there. Michael Leon, number 22. You saw him put on the Jets out of the Right to Dream Academy and Hotchkiss Prep in Connecticut. And this is a big moment for him in Michigan, especially if they qualify, Christian, because Michael Leon has only played 5 minutes all year. He's been out injured. He's been training full the last week to 10 days, and now he'll get a run over the last 13 minutes plus.
Pablo Avila and Ian Abbey checking into the match, as you alluded to a couple moments ago, Glenn, for Rutgers. 2 big pieces coming in. Pablo, someone who certainly Rutgers fans know as being a regular in the starting 11 over the past several seasons, has that ability to slow things down, hold the ball, maintain possession, spray passes, play between the lines. And Ian Abbey, it's a like for like there in that Jackson Temple swap. Abbey wants to go at you 1v1. He's got legs, he's got energy. Going to be interesting to see if in the second half Jim McKeldry is able to find space for Jackson Temple and Ian Abbey flanking M.D. Myers in the second half.
Avila playing up top. We've often seen him in the midfield out of the 4-3-3. Ula Malin also off along with Jackson Temple. DeVizio looks up the field as he accelerates. Nobody running the channel, so he'll look to reverse. Legwenick. DeVizio, that fell short, intended for MD Myers. Gaffney clips one forward. Ball knotted down, back into the midfield. Good rhythm. Martins now switches on the right to Hoff.
Gaffney's been impressive in these opening 40 minutes for Michigan. He's done a good job, I think, maintaining his spacing, his understanding, his assignments, spraying balls out. He's moved forward very nicely when he's had the opportunities. I look back to that 1v1 opportunity when Jackson Temple was free on the right side. He took a good angle, knowing he wasn't going to win a foot race with one of the fastest players in college soccer in Jackson Temple. However, did a good job positioning-wise and won the battle. He's been impressive. Colloquian has certainly been impressive for Michigan. The goals scored, he's looked dangerous. But to me, Gaffney, probably the second most impressive Wolverine on the field tonight at Yersak Field.
MD Myers scored for Rutgers in the 14th. Nicholas Kalookian, happy homecoming. Wayne, New Jersey native in the 17th minute. T.O. trying to maneuver around Hoff. That's Avila spraying the ball to the right to find DeVizio. MD Myers and Avila trying to work a combination. Off the Michigan clearance, here's Carruthers. Out of the Timbers Academy. That's Portland Timbers. Pacific Northwest guy.
Couple Portland players, products of the Timbers Academy on this Rutgers roster.
Myers on the half turn. Barugi, three-player combo. Avila, Abbey, can he save it? Yes.
Good look there from Avila. One timing it, very nearly putting that on frame. That goes on frame. Rutgers is up 2-1.
Callow with a block for Michigan. Here's Abbey again. Abbey's a dynamic winger.
Yeah, the freshman brings a lot of pace, a lot of 1v1 ability, really likes going head down towards goal. He only seems to have just one setting, and that's Energizer Bunny.
Out of the YSC Academy, that's the Philadelphia Union Academy. Wonderful setup there, where you get your academic credit while you're training like a pro.
Well, it's not a surprise that he has the engine and the work rate that he does, given that the Union, the way that they play, the pressing and the counter pressing that they do, really fits well with what Rutgers head coach Jim McKeldry wants to do on his flanks. He wants his outside attackers to push forward and pressure those back lines, creating turnover. And Abbey, with that work rate, is capable of doing that.
Ball on the feet of Kieran Dalton, who has a couple of clean sheets this year. Not going to get one tonight. Another one of the many Red Bull Academy graduates on this Rutgers side.
What an advantage for Rutgers, isn't it, Glenn?
Ball slips through to Myers. What can he do with it? From behind, is there a call? No. Waved off by Eber Estrada, as it certainly looked like.
I'm going to want to see a replay of that.
Callow from behind on Myers, who somehow slipped in behind. So Callow completely misjudges it. Here's Myers.
I'm not sure if an effort was first to play the player or the ball on that one.
Well, it certainly stimulated some reaction in the Rutgers technical area.
Here's another look at it, Glenn. It looks to me like the effort was made first to physically pull down Myers and then play the ball. Not an easy call either way, though. We can sit up here with the benefit of replay and critique and look at it and analyze it, but in real time, that's a difficult call to make for the referee, Estrada.
The referee was 25 to 30 yards behind the play. It happened quickly. So he, in essence, was looking at it from a bit of a distance.
Can we get Dr. Manchin to take a little peek at that?
Well, normally when there is a tackle attempt from behind and a player goes down and the ball doesn't really move, it just kind of rolled along. Those are the things you look for. Still 1-1. That one's not going to change. Here's Michigan and Gaffney. DeVizio is well positioned to defend that at first, and that sets up Dabby on the counter.
Ian Abbey there streaking down. What good work from the freshman. Glenn, he doesn't play with any fear in his eyes. There's no deer in the headlights there from Ian Abbey. Just strong 1v1 ability, making that run about 50, 60 yards.
A little over 6 minutes left. First half, Acosta. He switches for Tia. Now it's Carruthers. Myers in 2 touches trying to slip Barugi through. Barugi covers a lot of ground and anticipated that run out of the midfield.
Good work there from Ethan Wood to come on out. Read it very quickly. No hesitation whatsoever from the Michigan goalkeeper, who's looked solid. Really hasn't had a misstep in this first half.
Not the first choice keeper, however, due to illness and injury, just one keeper on the game roster today, and that's Ethan Wood, the junior from Syosset. That's him on it right now. A lot of room for Martins, able to turn and then find Buckner on the left. Avila recovers to force the ball backwards, and on the switch, that's Gaffney. Graduate student out of LA, went to Loyola High School. Big Ten Distinguished Scholar, 2021. Loose possession, Martin's giveaway, Rutgers counterattack. Here's Acosta. You saw what he was trying to do, play it behind the defender, Callow, and into the path of M.D. Myers. Callow defended it well.
Good step up, though, from Acosta, though, on that play to make the defensive win and get that counterattack started for Rutgers. It's been about 4 or 5 minutes now for Rutgers since that M.D. Myers penalty claim. Scarlet Knights have responded well. They've been on the front foot. They've been pushing, they've been aggressive, they've been moving a lot faster than they had at any point in the match.
DeVizio's throw to the posting Myers. That one a little behind Carruthers, giving chase now. Can the ball get through? Nearly. And the Accra, Ghana native, Michael Leon, he was ready to pounce on it. Both sides with strong counter-attacking options. When the ball is turned over, can't get a whole lot better than Myers. Leading scorer in the Big Ten, scored his 13th tonight. That's the Rutgers goal in this 1-1 draw to this point. Michigan has outshot Rutgers in the half, 5-4, both with a couple of shots on frame. Not a single corner kick has been taken, but a very dangerous set piece off the throw resulted in the Michigan goal. Gaffney to Callow to Kalukian. Joey Zielinski made no doubt about that one. And a slight skirmish. Thomas DeVizio, the captain for Rutgers. Now some players are being waved over just for a discussion with Eber Estrada, the referee. That is Michael Leon, the sophomore, and
Brennan Callow, 6'6" of him, stationed right there on the edge of the 6-yard box. It looks like he's going to be the initial target.
And that's Gaffney right there you're looking at. He's the guy with the long throw. This will be his third throw from this spot. The first one fell short. Maybe it slipped when he tried to follow through and get it deep, and it fell near the top of the 18-yard box. Really ineffective. But the second one, very effective. An assist on the goal. Here he comes. Good numbers in the box for Michigan. The shot is blocked. Tio. Strong in getting himself between the shooter and the goal. Buckner trying to squeeze his way down the touchline, and his last push forward too heavy, and inside of 2 minutes Rutgers will play it small off the goal kick with Legwenick. Zielinski to DeVizio. Rutgers 2-2-2 in the Big Ten. Michigan comes in at 1-4-1. One match for both after tonight. Rutgers will close at Penn State. Every time Zielinski and Legwenick look up, they see 5 backs for Michigan and not many options to play forward. Carruthers trying to find Myers first time. Tio with a long switch. Here's a 2 versus 1 for Rutgers. Abby and DeVizio. Abby goes to the inside where Acosta wants to find Myers. Myers collects. Acosta curls it, perhaps in an off-hide position. Myers, yes, flag is up with 18 ticks left, and that's going to do it. The countdown that will close the first half on a Friday night at Yersack Field in Piscataway, New Jersey. Rutgers will turn it around and defend the goal to our right, or to your right as you're watching it with us. I'm Glenn Crooks, Christian Dyer. Great to have you with us, and we're underway here. Second half. Expecting a good one. Pablo Avila, who did not start the game, will start the second half along with Ian Abbey and MD Myers up top. In the midfield for Rutgers, it's Cole Carruthers, Matthew Acosta, Jason Beruggi, the number 10. And at the back, that's DeVizio on the right, just playing it back to his keeper, Kieran Dalton. On the ball there, Joey Zielinski. To his left, Hugo Legwenick. And then on the left, Chris Tio. Beruggi Looking to pull the nutmeg there to get out of a jam. Could not. Rutgers pressing high early. Off the chest, though. Well done by the goal scorer, Kolukian. First half reserve, Michael Leon getting the start in the second half, too. Number 22 up top for Michigan. Ball played back into the Michigan end. That's Gaffney, the graduate student, with the quick throw. Simon Vasquez, the number 6 holding midfielder. It's been not much of a factor, more defensively than generating the attack, as Abbey tries to dribble through a triple team, and you can sense the urgency from the Scarlet Knights in the opening moments of the second half. From behind, Legwenick on Kaluki, and no call for the referee, Eber Estrada. This is Blevins. And trying to hurdle the tackle and catch up to it. Out of the midfield, nothing doing. That was Cameron Martin, the captain.
Yeah, good play here from Divisio to make that challenge. Very nearly had made contact on the Michigan player.
And there is Divisio. Half turn, Abbey on the drive. Leaves it for Carruthers. Good deception, Carruthers, to work the combination. Tries to find room to get the shot off. Now there's a jam at the top of the area. Abbey will play it wide to Divisio. Avila on the left. Here comes the overlapping Tio. Square ball, layoff. Myers can't handle.
One touch too many in the box there for Rutgers. At 1 point, 9 players behind the ball for Michigan.
Foul against Rutgers and Pablo Avila. There he is.
Yeah, Avila playing there on that left side. So often we see him in a little bit more of a central role for Rutgers. Going to be interesting to see what he can do. Sometimes Avila is a player who likes to pull back, maintain that possession, spray the ball out wide. Now being asked to go a little bit more direct, a little bit more towards goal.
Avila, the Mallorca, Spain academy player. Abbey finding B1G. Shot, took a couple of hops, kind of scuffed it. That made it easy for Wood. He'll roll out quickly. And here comes Michigan.
And that's the danger of Ian Abbey right there. A player, when he gets the ball at his feet, always looking to get towards goal. Has good pace, good individuality, and creativity in 1v1 situations. Off that turnover, within a couple touches, had the Rutgers into the final third.
And then quickly, after the Wood distribution, ball into the feet of Kalukian. Really did well with his back to the goal, and then an impatient play by Tio. Kalukian on the turn, and that's what drew the foul. And now a throw in deeper in the Rutgers end ensues. And 5 minutes gone by, second half. We're level at Yersack Field. It's Buckner on the throw. Here's Vasquez. Hard drive by Blevins. Service falls short. Second ball to Vasquez. And half chance. Misses wide right, a little high. So Michigan at 1-4-1, 8th place out of 9 of the Big Ten on 4 points. Northwestern coming into the weekend 0-4-2 on 2 points. Wisconsin also on 4. They're in the 7th position ahead of Michigan. So it's those 3 who are in the battle for the 7th and 8th spots. And a card being brandished. Pablo Avila is just having a word with the referee. The yellow is on Tio, I think. Here's a look at it, Christian.
Yeah, it's Tio just making a little bit of a late challenge there, showing the underside of his cleats right there. More often than not, Glenn, you know this. Whether there's anything intentional or not, that's going to get you in trouble with the referee.
So the transfer out of the University of San Francisco, Cameron Martin, captain senior here, played for the Seattle Sounders Academy. He's going to take the free kick or run over it and then leave it for Blevins. Whips it in short of the mark, and off the counter, it's Avila. He's running 1 against 3. Avila showing good pace, trying to draw something here. And in the end, well defended by Michigan. Kalukian and Leon with the interplay. Now Blevins trying to get DeVizio off balanced. Was able to drive it in. Rutgers defending the area well in the air. Legwenick and Zielinski leading the way. Hoff finds Buckner. Buckner with a looping service. Ball still in. Now it driven across the top of the 6 by Blevins.
Yeah,
Bryce Blevins.
Michigan, for the first time all night, has been finding some opportunities there in those wide spaces. Lofted crosses in, and Rutgers, not as big and physical of a team as Michigan, has had some trouble clearing their own back end.
Kalukian, good size at 6'1". That Vasquez delivery taken away by DeVizio for Rutgers and the Scarlet Knights. DeVizio putting the brakes on in order to swing it out to the left. Tio too far ahead of Avila. Tio out of Randolph High School in northern New Jersey. Another one of the Red Bull Academy players here at Rutgers University. Leon on the challenge with Legwenick. Legwenick always calm, and in a majority of the situations comes out with it with purpose.
Michigan players down there behind the play.
And it's Rutgers moving forward with Abbey. Here's the shot, and it's a finish!
What a finish there by Ian Abbey. We talked about him, how dangerous he can be in those situations. Ian Abbey, well taken opportunity there quickly on the counterattack for Rutgers.
He'll take a seat, and Michigan, well, they answered quickly in the first half. Rutgers had scored on the Myers goal, 13th of the season, to continue to lead the Big Ten. Just tack onto that. But then 3 minutes later, Kalukian scored his 3rd goal in 3 matches. And here's Michigan earning a corner kick. And this will be the first corner of the game for either side. And you're seeing number 30 walk forward. You're not seeing it yet, but you'll see him enter the screen at one point. He's the 6'6" Brennan Callow. and he just lifting his right arm up saying, hey, I'm the target. Everybody knows it. Let's see if they can hit him. They got the back post person, and that one's saved off the line by Rutgers.
What a tremendous save there from Dalton, almost point blank. Callow was the decoy there on that one, and it looks like Michael Leon, the sophomore from Ghana, very nearly pulling Michigan back.
Well, we're getting another look at it. Wonderful take. So the worst one headed down and off the back heel.
I thought Dalton got a hand on it there for a second, but it went off the crossbar, bouncing down on the ground.
As did I. I thought DeVizio actually had gotten a piece of it, but no, it was the crossbar. That would have been a wonderful finish, obviously, by Leon, Right to Dream Academy player. And he's trained the last week or so, had played only 5 minutes all season coming in, so he's already beat that mark by quite a bit, coming in as a first half reserve.
And he's looked good. He's looked dangerous. He's got some pace. He's got some good size. He's got some good movement, some ingenuity that he's brought.
Chris Teo getting tangled up with Kalukian.
Yeah, Kalukian trying to get the turn here. Chris Teo, I think the Rutgers outside back very well. I think he did get away with a little bit of a push and a shove right there. Very physical between Kalukian, who's a player who's very good with the ball at his feet, runs the channels well, but is a big physical presence there. And Teo, who can be quite the pest on the defensive end.
Well, missed the entry of Cole Sotak for Teo, so we don't want to badger Teo, and it was actually Cole Sotak.
It was Cole Sotak
who was having the slight skirmish at the corner. Comes Michigan. Martins. This is Gaffney, who had an assist in the first half off a throw, his throw, which is a legitimate long throw, which Rutgers has to be aware of as the game continues. Buckner against Avila with Sotak covering. Saw Buckner burst down the flank, hoping to get a return ball from Hoff on that. Instead, the ball switched. Vasquez.
Buckner's a nice player for Michigan. He's done a lot of work there, pushing forward in those outside backs, winning those balls, understanding his spacing and his assignments, and showing a lot in the offensive third.
There he is again, curling it towards the back, and a courageous challenge by Leon with the Rutgers keeper Dalton also coming in strong. Leon was offsides. And
this was a good ball in, swerving ball into the 6-yard box from Dalton. This is the second time now where we've seen Dalton have to come out strong. One time in the first half on a ball curving away. This one curving in towards the box. And Dalton, no hesitation, comes out, punches it, gets 2 fists on it.
Well done by Dalton with a record of 1-1 since he was named the permanent starter for Rutgers. Full-time #1 since the Indiana match, which was a draw. 28 saves, 14 goals allowed on the season. This his 10th appearance and 10th start. Rutgers freshman keeper.
Yeah, he's done good. And Tyler Stakowitz, the Rutgers goalkeeper coach, has done a nice job with him. Stakowitz, a former standout at Montclair State University, All-American there, part of some of those big Division III NJAC championship teams that they had, and also NCAA tournament teams. Been with Rutgers now for 7 years, has really made a home for himself.
That was Acosta able to pry it loose and get it wide right for DeVizio. And he ran hard at the back 4. Check that back 3 for Michigan. Abbey involved, but eventually scooped up by Ethan Wood.
Now, Glenn, you've forgotten more about soccer than I will ever learn. But do you think there's a place on this field in the starting 11 for Jackson Temple on one side of M.D. Myers and Ian Abbey on the other?
Yes. Well, Jackson Temple is very much a starter in my mind. 5 goals and 6 assists in 14 games coming in. I think that would settle any argument. And his work rate defensively.
But if you were to have Temple on this right side like we've seen tonight, and Ian Abbey perhaps on that left side, could be intriguing for Rutgers, I think.
Well, Abbey scored a goal tonight on the right. His second goal of the season, so we'll see how it goes. Right now, Rutgers anxious to defend this set piece. And Callow is up again. That one towards the keeper. A lot of players in front of Dalton. He does well to punch it away, and Rutgers clears to halfway.
Good clearance by Avila, made no mistake about it.
Gaffney mishit that ball. He was trying to put it back behind the Rutgers defense instead. May have gone right off the head of MD Myers. He's still down. Nico Rosamilia, who's had a very long absence for Rutgers. This will be his first action in a very long time. He'll take the place of MD Myers here inside of a half hour remaining in the game with a 2-1 advantage. Leon against Hugo Legwenick, and Legwenick with a clever back heel. Avila, Rosamilia trying to post up and just chest it down. Looked like that was a chest pass, hoping that B1G would get underneath, could not. Nico Rosamilia has played in 5 games at Omaha, at Creighton, and then home to Princeton, and hasn't played since September the 2nd. It's October the 21st, and the compact fall collegiate season, it was a bad quad tear, which kept Rosamilia on the sidelines, but it's those sort of soft tissue injuries that in a season like they have in the fall, you miss games, and a lot of them. Here's Leon, and he hits it wide of the bar. Nearly every Rutgers player's in their own penalty area with arms extended, looking towards the AR, claiming that Leon was offsides. The call didn't come, and the goal nearly did for Leon.
Yeah, and I think they have a claim right there, but Leon, good opportunity, good look. Probably wishes he had that opportunity back. Seen Leon pop up a couple times into those dangerous spaces, but that final product just missing for the young talent from Ghana.
B1G, Rosamilia. Here's Gaffney for Michigan. The junior keeper, Ethan Wood. Got a little crossed up for a moment. Probably didn't play the ball the way he would have liked. Rosamilia powering his way through. Here's the second half goal scorer, Abbey. Ian Abbey. Can't find Rosamilia. Half cleared, Carruthers. Divisio nodded away, chased down by Avila. One-on-one against Buckner. Avila to the byline. That driven cross over the head of Abbey. It'll be a Michigan throw-in on the backside.
Well, I think the better option for Avila there would have been to drive that in low across the face of goal right there. But some good ingenuity from the super senior Avila to get that separation, drive on in towards goal. A couple times now, Avila in the second half has looked dangerous down that left side.
He beat Buckner there. Buckner is a wingback, not a fullback, and he's got more of those qualities of a a winger out of a 4-4-2 or an attacking winger, and Avila took advantage of him in an isolated situation. Here comes Cameron Martin back on for Michigan. B1G will get a break for Rutgers. Nestor Cabrera will come on in the midfield for the Scarlet Knights. Bridgewater High School freshman, another Red Bull Academy, also played at PDA and Queensboro FC. And Nestor Cabrera, who wears the number 21. Also part of the Guatemala U17s. Played with them in the summer. Overhit, goal kick coming up for Michigan. MD Myers scored in the 14th minute from Thomas DeVizio to give Rutgers the 1-0 lead. 3 minutes later, it was Nicholas Kalukian off the throw by Declan Gaffney and the redirected header by Brennan Callow. And then Ian Abbey. Wonderful finish, 54th minute from Cole Crothers. Rutgers has the 1-goal advantage here in Piscataway. This is Velasquez switching it on the right. Hoff, Norwegian, can't handle. Rutgers throw. That's Rosamelia. Finding Cabrera. Falls short of Abbey. DeVizio there, though. Now Abbey has it back. Can't defend that any better. And then Cabrera arriving late. Foul against the Bridgewater freshman.
You can see Rutgers, though, now for about 10 minutes has been pressing further up the field, trying to get those second balls, trying to win, trying to make Michigan, who wants to build out of the back, a little bit more difficult for the Wolverines to get into that rhythm and flow. And Michigan doesn't want at this point to be overly direct in their style of play. And I certainly think Rutgers now, with that counter pressing that they've been doing for about 10 minutes against a shorthanded Michigan side, it's the right strategy from head coach Jim McElderry.
Cabrera took a tumble, no call. Eber Estrada, the referee. So here's Michigan. And Buckner will see what he can do. Swings it in. And Legwenick, the glancing header to get it out the backside. Important intervention by him. Now the ball loose in the area. Rutgers claims handball. And
that was a good read there from Legwenick, though, as you said, Glenn, on that glancing header just to clear. That's what Michigan wants to do. They don't want to be playing route one. They want to be going wide. They want to be stretching the field. They want those outside backs, those two that play outside of the three center backs, to bring some width and some depth to the attack. And that's what Michigan's capable of when they get those ball quickly into those transition moments and those spaces. Could look very, very dangerous.
Michigan has outshot Rutgers 9-6 overall. Rutgers with the advantage in shots on target at 4-3. One corner in the game. That went to Michigan. And they nearly came up with something. Their goal is off a set piece, a throw-in. Yes, throw-ins are set pieces. Yes, Liverpool has a throw-in coach named Thomas Grunemark. Becoming more specialized this sport that we have followed for so long, Christian. Set piece coaches, substitution coaches.
I remember being thrilled just to be able to find a pickup game in college now. You got intramural squads, and you got a crowd of a couple thousand out here at Yersak Field on a Friday night. Nice, healthy crowd.
Wonderful turnout.
Good turnout from the cavalry as well.
Across
New
the
supporters
way.
group.
Love to
supporting
hear
the
it.
men's and women's team.
The yellow card has been issued to Rutgers number 21, Mr. Cabrera.
I think we need a drum, though, Glenn. I think we're in agreement on that. How does that sound?
Well, we've got the horns. I've never been able to admire them ever since the South Africa World Cup. What do they call them? Starts with a V. What? Vuvuzela?
I call it a flock of geese. That's what I call it.
Well, that's what the cavalry has over there, but still sounds good. That's Kalukian, who came back into the midfield to receive. Here's Vasquez cutting through the center circle to find Hoff. Poor delivery from Hoff. Cabrera, and now Acosta rolling 2 to 3 times, grasping onto his right leg after that foul.
And a yellow card there from Estrada. I think that's good consistency. Showed one of those to Cole Sotak earlier in this half.
Three times Rutgers has been booked in this match, and that's the first yellow card for Michigan with a little over 20 minutes left, and Rutgers on top by a goal. Rutgers trying to improve their stock in the Big Ten Conference if the score remains the same. If we check the live standings in the Big Ten, Rutgers would improve to 3-2-2. They would be on 11 points, and for the time being would move into the 3rd position in the Big Ten. Games to be played in the Big. This on a Friday night. Ohio State also tonight hosting Penn State, and Michigan State at home to Maryland. We'll check those scores in a moment. Ohio State and Penn State are 1-1 with a quarter of an hour left in that game. Shot by Avila is saved. And a wonderful play by Rosamilia to let that run by. That came from Cabrera on the right side. Rosamilia, with a good vision, understood that Avila was right there.
Yeah, dummied it well. Second time we've seen Avila with a one-touch opportunity. First one came upon his entry in the first half, but here Avila's movement, that recognition, and that dummy from Cabrera. Rutgers really churning right now, starting to build some confidence. And Glenn, we're starting to see some heavy legs from Michigan at this point. Not a lot of depth on that bench for the Wolverines.
Crothers. Arendt trying to find Jackson Temple, who's back into the game for the Scarlet Knights. He pops out wide right. MD Myers back in as well. The striker, Ula Malin, on the left. So a fresh attacking core for Rutgers. Here's Malin. That ball played behind Barugi, and that allows Vasquez to start the counter. Kalukian working hard, hoping to earn the call from the referee Estrada, but no. Goal kick coming up for Michigan. There you see Kalukian inadvertently got a boot towards the face of DeVizio. DeVizio's fine. Kalukian challenging Zielinski in the air. Maryland on the road leads Michigan State in the second half 1-0. So we can go back and calculate the standings. Maryland would move to 4-0-3, 15 points, 3 ahead of Indiana. Both on 7 matches at that point, so Maryland would have an important lead there. Those two meet on the final day of the regular season. And Ohio State with a point would be level with Rutgers, but ahead, level on points, but ahead on the head-to-head tiebreaker. Ohio State winning recently over Rutgers.
It was my understanding, Glenn, that there would be no math involved tonight.
Well, I'm struggling, I'll say.
I left my abacus at home, so good luck with that.
I'm struggling. Well, we'll keep track of those 2 other matches playing as we come to the last portion of this one. Rutgers up 2-1. And here's Kalukian. He is certainly a handful, and Legwenick is the one that got a shirt full there. And Kalukian on the deck, and Legwenick foul called against him.
Yeah, Kalukian, good involvement there with his lower body, being able to shield and turn and draw that foul.
Cole Sautak out of control, and Bruckner gets the brunt of it. So Buckner, he was a Big Ten all-freshman player last year. Played for the Inter-Miami CF Academy, now here at Michigan. Ball driven across by Martin. Martin trying to defend and prevent the counter. And here comes Rutgers, 2 versus 1. Myers, foul. Not much support for that call for the bleacher section here at Yersack Field.
I think it was the initial foul there.
Right there.
Yeah, I think that was on M.D. Myers.
Yes.
I think the Rutgers bench was reacting to the secondary contact. Not sure they can have too much of a gripe on that first foul.
This is Declan Gaffney. That's not Declan Gaffney. That's Jason Beruggi, looking now over towards the coaching staff for instruction. There was a player down for a moment for Michigan. It was Declan Gaffney. That's Sebastian, check that, Simon Vasquez, the number 24 for Michigan. And our referee tonight, Eber Estrada. There's Gaffney, who assisted on the first goal with the long throw.
Not an easy match for Estrada, but I think he's kept control of it, has not gotten as overtly physical and chippy as we've seen some of these Big Ten matches has done. And I think overall, and Glenn, you're not going to hear me say this too much, but an overall good night from the referee.
I don't think it's been a particularly difficult game to call. I mean, there's 12 fouls on Rutgers, or called against Rutgers, and Michigan has committed 8, according to the referee.
We've seen a lot of times where these referees put their stamps on the match and their influence. I think that there's a certain skill set here from Estrada tonight that's let them play, but called it when necessary, has not gone to the back pocket and overtly tried to influence the match too much.
No, much better when you don't notice the referee. I agree 100%. That ball played through all the way to Ethan Wood. Wood, a decent night in goal. 2 goals conceded. He conceded 2 also in one of his only 2 other starts, the 2-0 loss at Michigan State. Earned a 0-0 draw against Oakland, so he's got a clean sheet to his record. At the other end, it's Kieran Dalton. Chris Teo back into the game for Cole Sotak. Dalton, the freshman, in the Rutgers goal tonight. His 4th consecutive start. From Pearl River, I've grown to have an appreciation for Pearl River. I drive up the Palisades Parkway north from here quite often these days, and it's beautiful. And especially now, the colors today on the way up, just wonderful.
Great train station.
That I haven't seen.
All right, Glenn, so what's the pick for this weekend's match? I'm going to put you on the spot while we have a moment.
So I think Alex Collins will convert the 5th penalty and New York City will advance.
I agree with you. I think NYCFC will advance. I don't think it's going to go to penalties, though.
Direct, really difficult ball for Broach to do anything with. And ball just skipped off the top of his head. Back to Dalton, the Pearl River, New York native. Truly, you drive up the Palisades Parkway. I would say at this time of year, anybody, just take the drive. It is so gorgeous along the Hudson. Spinning out of difficulty there for Michigan is Harrison Pithers getting his first action here on a Friday night.
It is a beautiful drive, though. It's once you get up kind of that area, Nyack and the Palisades and that whole area. And a friend Pepe Pinton has a restaurant up there. It's a nice drive.
He's got a restaurant in Pearl River?
In that area.
Oh, okay.
Pepe, longtime head coach at Ramapo College. Well known throughout the soccer scene here in the New York, New Jersey area, and for his involvement with the New York Cosmos.
Ball taken away by Broach. Here's Pithers. He came in on that right side as a wingback for Buckner. Tampa native. Challenge on the header.
We're going to know a lot about this Rutgers team in 12 minutes, how they battle and fight through this.
Teo with the takeaway. MD Myers had a chance to turn, but instead elected to go back to Acosta, and that created this. Teo. Chris Teo. Well, he got to his spot where he just simply could not turn the hips. They get that across the face of goal or pull it back diagonally. Wood driving it as far forward as possible. That's Broach on the challenge along with Legwenick. Legwenick won the header, but the ball picked up by Michigan. And here come the Wolverines. That's Blevins. That was Buckner. He's on the left side in central defense now. So he's taking up a brand new spot. He was a wing back on the right. Now he's a center back on the left. Chakadeli obviously has spotted something where he thinks maybe he can take advantage. Here's a ball clipped towards the back post, high into the air. It's headed half clearance Rutgers. And now finally out of danger. Nice knockdown by Myers to find Barugi. And Barugi wanted to put it back ahead and return the favor to Myers. Well, too much on it, as you saw. 10 minutes to play. Zielinski chasing with Broach. And Zielinski with the takedown. Well, this is of the silly variety, and I'm certain that the emphasis and reminder in the locker room is to try to prevent this sort of situation. We've seen the 6'6" Callow come up off of dead ball situations and do damage already tonight with an assist on the only goal for Michigan. He's in the middle of it. He's number 30 in the mix. Here's a service. Somehow that skipped past every player inside the 6-yard box, including the keeper, Kieran Dalton.
And in all the confusion here over where Callow was, 3 bodies on him, the ball very nearly falling to Derek Broshi there at that back post.
That was Harrison Pithers, the reserve, who's now departing the game. He's the one that whipped that in, and Dalton off his line misjudged it. If a keeper is coming off his line like that, he's got to get a piece of it. Punch it away, redirect it in some fashion. So close to the equalizer. Derek Broach on the back post. Gwennick heads it high into the air. Stepping in front of B1G was Vasquez. Vasquez was fouled. Aiden Flynn warming for Rutgers. Not yet in front of the 4th official. Right now, Rutgers dealing with a distance free kick. And it's Dalton off his line again and again. He fans on the clearance. So indecision twice by the Rutgers keeper, Dalton.
2 times here, Michigan very nearly equalizing, both times off of set pieces. It's been set pieces that have kept Michigan in the match tonight.
And here's another one. The long throw by Gaffney and a whistle inside the area. The referee held his right arm up for offsides, or is that to put a halt to the clock? He's jogging over towards the Michigan bench. Gonna have a word with the head coach Shaka Daly, who's put the wool beanie on.
Maybe more than the word, maybe more than a word right now.
Well, the referee Eber Estrada has had a similar conversation with Rutgers coach Jim McElderry in the first half. And now with Shaka Daly, the Michigan mentor, in the second. Shaka Daly wants higher pressure, and it may work for Michigan here. Yes, they've got the ball, and Broach takes a distant shot. Bit ambitious. Michigan gets it back, and Broach gets himself into the area. Here's a high looping service. And the 6'1" Kalukian, he got the first head on that and couldn't get it on frame.
Good movement there from Kalukian to go around, get himself freed, finding the space. Very nearly back to the brace on this one. We talked about it 5 or 6 minutes ago, Glenn, and the need that Rutgers was going to have to dig down to get this type of a result. This would be a big, big result against a team that they haven't beaten since 2015. It's been a down year for Michigan, but it's still perennially one of the best programs in all of college soccer, and certainly the Big Ten.
Rutgers looking for their 7th win of the season against 3 defeats and 5 draws. And we know the ties have been exponentially greater this year due to the lack of overtime, golden goal. Good rule, I think. in such a crazy season with a lot of games in a short period of time.
See, we're going to disagree on this one, Glenn. From a broadcaster perspective, I like getting out after 90 minutes of play. I think from a developmental point of view, the more minutes, the more opportunities, the more pressure situations, and we've seen it so many times.
What a service and a flying header by Leon. So Buckner to Leon, and it nearly worked for Michigan. Last touch by Rutgers. Corner coming up for the Wolverines, just the second of the game for either side, both to Michigan.
Buckner's been very, very energetic down that right flank for Michigan.
Michigan just hitting it high into the area, and a lot of bodies pushing against each other. That one against Michigan. Every set piece, and this is not a surprise to the Rutgers staff either, has been dangerous for Michigan.
Yeah, it's been set pieces that's kept a short-handed Michigan team in this match, and I think you got to give a lot of credit to Shaka Daly and the job that he's done organizationally. Michigan's done a good job defensively. They kept a lot of the play in front of them. They've kept Rutgers to just a handful of good opportunities and shots on goal, and Rutgers has had the better of play, but I think Michigan's kept their shape. They've moved the ball well, and they've had some moments where they've looked like the more aggressive and better team.
Joey Zielinski going over Kalukian, and I'm sure what's going on with Zielinski, he's recalling a play in the first half where he was booked, and it was Kalukian who he had undercut. He didn't think so. Kalukian had come over him.
And Jim McKeldry on the Rutgers sideline saying very nearly that same thing that you're saying, Glenn, that. And now we're having a moment here between Estrada and head coach Jim McKeldry. McKeldry pleading his case that the same exact call went against Rutgers in the first half.
Same two players as well. That's Pete Mandel, the familiar face here in New Jersey in the referee area. He's the fourth official tonight. Well, credit to Estrada for keeping the card in his pocket, perhaps, for that one. Here's another set piece, and it's from a distance, but Rutgers defends this one well. That's Vasquez hitting a rope in. It's deflected into the air.
Now Rutgers going to take some time to milk the clock here. 4 minutes left in this match. 4 minutes away from Rutgers being 3-2-2 in the Big Ten.
Here's Kieran Dalton, the freshman. Colin Beasley playing on the left here in the latter stages for Rutgers. Where's the number 19? From Mays Landing, New Jersey. Out of FC Delco, that's him on the ball there. Unable to hold on. And here comes Martins, wide right for Buckner. Buckner trying to get past Teo, cannot, but draws the third quarter kick of the game for Michigan. Bryce Blevins, the natural left footer, junior, drives it towards the top of the six, and it's pushed away by Kieran Dalton. Michigan thought that it might have been over the line, and yet another set piece dead ball difficulty for Rutgers defensively. That was close.
Yeah, the ball didn't cross the line there. I was wondering if there was interference on the goalkeeper right there with the way he kind of had to push it. think when we get another look right here, Glenn, the in-swinger coming in, bouncing up. There was interference. It was on his own man.
So Dalton was fearful that his own man might have pushed him into the goal with the ball, and that's why he just pushed it out.
That was it. Was a
Wondering
smart play.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was the momentum of just his movement across the body, but instead it was running into his own player.
The clock is stopped here, awaiting the delivery by Kieran Dalton. Beasley wins the challenge, but the flick on. Only Michigan players there. Here's Pithers off of Beasley. Square ball was a little bit too slow developing from M.D. Myers, is trying to get it to Acosta. Acosta now sprinting back as quickly as he can along with Jackson Temple. That recovery pays off as Temple is able to get the deflected ball. Now a soaring clearance by Divisio.
Inside 90 seconds.
That ball into his seam. Dalton reads it well. He'll smother. He'll kill the clock a little bit more. 2 minutes left, where Maryland leads Michigan 1-0. Penn State and Ohio State, it's full time there, 1-1. So we'll sort out the standings per the results from tonight at the conclusion of this match inside a minute. Direct they are, and the player chasing is Callow for Michigan, number 30. They're pushing him up top to just see if they can get him in front for any sort of delivery, and they want to throw in, so Gaffney will get at least one more opportunity to launch. He had an assist in the 17th minute on a goal by Kaluki, and at the time it leveled the match. Callow got the first ball off that throw, and here's a shot by Leon, and that's
going to be it now. That was the last look there. That's the opportunity that Michigan wanted. And Glenn, Rutgers emerges from this one 3-2-2 in the Big Ten. Big statement in conference for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.